Hi there guys, it's Evelyn again. My last video cut off. I'm having technical problems, but this one should be fine. This will be the end of it. This should be all the information I have. And we're going to start right from where I cut off. I was just meditating again to see if there was another message that needed to come in for you. Let me just tap this guy here. Take a deep breath if you so feel inclined. So the meditation I was just doing, my inner little girl was being very polite, and she was crossing her legs, and then I was getting the wound around politeness, and I was getting the energy of the cross, which I got cut off from that message, which I'm going to complete now, and the shape of the four. And then the energy of cross my heart, that phrase, cross my heart and hope to die. And now I'm getting stick a needle in my eye, but I wasn't getting that before. Oh, and then I was getting to shake it all out. So earlier, I think it maybe in one of the messages I'm bringing you today was the hokey pokey, right? And turn it all about, that's what. So shake, and shake, I was just literally seeing, just shake everything loose like you would do to warm up at the gym or something like that. And then I was getting Otis Day, and then Gladys Knight and the Pips, so all that shaking it energy. And of course, I'm just blanking out on names. Whoever shakes a lot. They're coming up right now. I'm going to show you the two reeds, this one on the table, because I keep, conking out. I want to make sure you have the picture of this in case this device conks out for whatever reason. So this is my 7-deck read, and I also did a message of the day, my 4-deck read last night. So I'm going to show you those two reads. This is the one on the table. Okay, and the one I did last night, my 4-deck read, is here, so you have it. Okay, this is the underlying energies over here, 3 cards out, and any additional cards that want to come out organically I use for numerology and to finish the story. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, so where are we starting from? All right, so when I dropped off with you guys, I'll take this off of here. When I dropped off with you guys, I was on September 4th, and we were just going to go into, this page I posted on Instagram regarding the number 4. So when you cross your heart at church, you're actually, it depends on whether you live in the west or the east, because it could be slightly different, but it makes the upside down backward 4. And so, let's see here. So the 9, September 4th was 9/042/024. So you had the 42 and 24 reflecting each other. And the 9 is the Hermit. So, and they used my own experience, my personal experience, because I'll relate to it. So the 9 is Hermit, which is me, because I'm Virgo. And then 42 and 24 are my father's and my mother's soul numbers, which reflect each other. And they were both Gemini, 7 years, 7 days apart, which I brought up before. But the energy of the Hermit, 1-to-1 with the Queen of Wands as well. The mother, father, and child. The lambda leap without crossing over. All right, so conception is, right, the mother sending a child to the female's womb, right? And then the lambda leap represents the masculine to father, or leaping out or crossing over. And again, the Q4 or 24 is quarter 4. or 4-2 would be fourth quarter. So the energy of the fourth quarter was coming up here. And for me, the number 2, because when you write it in script, it often looks like a Q. So 2 is Q, or the queen energy. And it also represents the Vesica Pisces because it's literally this circle of conception and then the next circle leaping out of that. So going to the next. And here's that 4 of the cross, which is upside down, which I wrote up here. But right side up is also, like I said, the L1 of the lambda leap. And since a line, the straight line, is actually 2 dots of the colon and an arc between, which is a curved line, then the 4 was coming up here as this energy right here of being more circular. And from the, okay, so then bringing the Q and the Q and the 4 together was making this symbol here. So the Vesica Pisces, but then with the energy going forward, like the tunnel effect that I showed you on the last video. But Vesica Pisces moving into that turning inside out through and through energy. So the 23 and the 32 were reflecting, and we were bringing that up on the last video. And the 23 is the King of Wands, who leads by example with the 6 of Wands, right? That's about reputation and getting attention and victory and bringing in the good news at the end of the war. And the 2 is has been coming up as the Taurus, or 2 are us, like Toys R Us. And then the trident of the 3, which is 3 D E N T, which the D represents the planetary spin, and then the E N T, which is the giant humanoid talking tree. So the 2 are us, and the trident of the 3 D E N T, and then we literally have the symbolism here, right, of the apple, like the Taurus, and then the trident over here, which then come together and become Noah's Ark. Okay, and again, what we were talking about, the 2 cups next to each other there too, of the masculine and the feminine, both being holders. And then you also see in this little Noah's Ark that the trident becomes the 1 with the points on the arrows on either side, which become the 4s of the 144, where 4 is the pi of 314, and pi reflected literally writes the word pi. Okay, so 42/24 equals the 2 of cups, or the 2 U's connected 1 to 1, like the H, and the Queen of Wands, which comes up here with the apple at its core, the 1 to 1, and then the Q4, the fourth quarter, which 24 is also Omega, or enlightenment, and also Om ego, which is the feminine ego, turning inside out through and through to get to the other side through this portal, right? So in the last video, we talked about the rainbow being half bridge and half tunnel, and then the center is then the portal, or what looks like a tunnel in suspended animation. So the post I did for Instagram regarding this was the Poseidon Adventure, or Poseidon Advent UR, or U regarding Advent can also be advertising the giant humanoid talking tree that you are, or that you reference. The 11 of 1 and 1 of 2 bridges, like the H, the 2 bridges being the lambda, or lambda father, and the Christed, right? 2 different perspectives of the same thing, Christ to Ed, or Mr. Ed. Okay, so the bridge to father, or the Christ consciousness to Mr. Ed, or ED, can be extra dimensional, however you want to look at it, but grounded by the salt symbol, the circle with the horizontal line, the salt of the earth, which is then the 3rd bridge across, which is not a cross, but a cross, as in atypical, not a cross, not K-N-O-T. And then that brings us to the crossing of your heart, because it draws the number 4. Not the down and right of the upside down 4, but the upright 4 from your heart to your head, and then right bringing back to your left, because your left shoulder is a universal chakra, and then back to your heart again, which then creates not just the 4, coming back to your heart creates the hourglass, which is the middle of the infinity symbol. And then Y was coming up, WHY, which is the W of capital W is two V's, or two creators. And the H is that one-to-one. And then, of course, the Y being where all roads lead home. Two creators or bridges, one-to-one bridge across, a cross, or not cross, to 0 point at the Y in the road, where all roads lead home out in left field, because we're dealing with Y here, of course, and L is 90 degrees of the diagram of X and Y. And so that's the Y question. And now who's on first base? And WHO is then two creators or bridges one-to-one across to 0 point human embodiment of source on first base, or the one path. Okay, so the Y crosses over to 0 point, which is directly to source, where who goes across to 0 point human embodiment of source on first base, or on that path of one. The L and the R of left and right, if you put them together or superimpose them, they become the capital B with a heavy 1 at the back of it, which then is the B, or the number 13, which is referencing do or die. The X of the L and the Y of the R, right, the feminine X and left, and the masculine Y and R. And then when you put them together, it's interesting, because when you put the X and the Y together with the plus sign in the middle, that's when you get the dragonfly, which is the same energy I was getting from putting the horizontal eagle flying and crashing into the phoenix rising, and makes the dragonfly when they come together, where they merge. Where the eagle soars and the phoenix rises. X meets Y in dragonfly. So again, this is the dragonfly here, and it's even more pronounced when you can look at my pictures on Instagram of the eagle, where the eagle meets the dragonfly. Or the eagle meets the phoenix and becomes the dragonfly. And the dragonfly is when two become one, right? Because the dragonflies come together, they look like two sticks flying that become one stick, and then they land on a branch and collapse over into a heart and start pulsing. So where eagle soars and phoenix rises, X meets Y in dragonfly. Two on the arc, or the arc with a C, and with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, one-to-one, bringing good news to everyone. And then Eve was being underlined with 1 for everyone, because then it spells Eve, R-Y, 1. Okay, referencing the divine feminine. And also this play between day and night as well, because the eve is the night before the day. And when I did this upside down 4 that I just gave an example, and this, if that doesn't resonate for you, that's fine, don't worry about it. But for whoever it resonates for, try it. I got a big release when I did that. And if you want a repeat, that was it's instead of starting at the head, you're starting at the heart and returning to the heart. So heart to head, and then bringing back to the left, which is the feminine side. So heart to crown, or to your forehead, and then right shoulder to left shoulder, and then back to heart again. That was the shape that they were giving me. Okay, so that's that. I also posted something, I got a cloud pic that literally had writing over the splash, which was coming up as Okinawa, Japan. So I don't know what's going on over there, but there's something about that was coming up. And then it was interesting, I told you about my vitality experience in the first video of these 3, because this will be the 3rd one. And I pulled cards before I went to vitality that day to see what was coming up. And the underlying energy was the Black Panther and the Ant, which were 52 and 32, which is the Queen of Swords and again, leading the way. And the first card that came out was the lizard, which I never get usually. And it's number 36, which is the Atlas energy, and it came out with my Divine Masculine card. And then parallel to that, there were some other cards that came out, like the 13 Coyote, 29 Badger, and 12 of the Porcupine. But then the Divine Feminine card came out with Teddy Bear. So the softness of the feminine side, and then the lizard coming out with the masculine side, and then the 43 Spider came out with the Elk Mother as well. And this was before I went to Vitality, so kind of feeding into what I experienced, right? Because I experienced a lizard moment in releasing dark energies in order to allow the mother energy in, which was so profoundly light. So it was like she came in through my body and just pushed my dark energy and the room's dark energy out so that she could enter the room and speak this statement she had to speak, which was a rant first, and then this loving, ended up in this beautiful loving energy of Mana Joya, which has to, I mean, she just was exuding her love for her children and wanting to express that to you. And then Kuan Yin came in a little bit as well, speaking a little bit of another light language that sounded more Asian, and then she would giggle, and she's speaking very softly because at that point we didn't really want to interfere with other people's process. And then the cards also at 151 to 52, which is the King and Queen of Swords. And I was feeling Sophia for that night, and I wrote that down. And then the underlying energy was the 23 of the King of Wands, letting it go, and the 24 of the Queen of Wands, to let love guide you, along with the card 1, which was a time to remember to look back on your childhood. So the King of Wands and Queen of Wands and the Magician were coming through, along with the time, which was the Magician with the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. How cool is that? So, and just a few little things before I get into the two reads. Right when I went to write about my experience at Vitality on the 6th, because that was on the 5th, on the 5th, the day was the 5 of the Hierophant and the 22 of the Fool. And the Fool is Aries energy, and the Hierophant's Taurus energies. And also Hierophant is hero is here, and font is breath, right? So the here and now moment. And then the 5D station was coming up with the 22, which is the Fool card, but for me it's also the 5D station. So it's the energy of at this time, and then Hiero and Hierophant also can be yesterday, which was yesterday was when I had done Vitality, so it was funny. And then Yes was coming up. Yes, Tur Day, which is also throne. Tur can be throne. And also can represent Terra coming in, since we are elevating. But I was getting Gaia as well. And Gaia was, she was saying Joya was Gaia. So Joya, Gaia with a soft G instead of a hard G would be Joya or Jaya, right? But she was saying Joya, to use the word joy. So then with Harry, also the letters from the here of H-I-E-R, which is the beginning of Hierophant. H-E-R-I is yesterday also. And it's also Rhea, as in Uranus's and Gaia's daughter, R-H-E-A, which then is bringing up Ea, which with the R-H blood. That's interesting. I wasn't getting that before either. But that has to do with the RH blood. So that's all from Elena Donat's book, if you haven't checked it out, A Gift from the Stars. And they talked about the human blood, that the RH was added to the human blood so that the reptilian blood could mix with the human blood when the Anunnakis seeded. So the O is, she stated that the O is the reptilian line, and the A and B is the human line, and and then they added the RH. If you have RH positive, you have the RH in order to be able to conceive or cross conceive or hybrid conceive, which is really interesting too. And I think I brought this up before, that if one of you has O blood and the other one has like A or B negative, you might have a hard time conceiving because the A or B human blood doesn't have the antigen or the RHD in order to cross over with the O of the reptilian energy. So it may be harder to get pregnant for someone who's one person might have O positive or even O negative, doesn't really matter because it's still that reptilian bloodline. And again, we all have that. We're mutts. We have all the different bloodlines in us. And then we have the AB human energy with a negative would be totally different energies and may have trouble conceiving. So anyway, just let me know what you think about that, because that definitely could be a possibility. 5D, 7D, 9D were coming up along with the 6th ray, and kind of this quote of 9 to 5 at home with Ia. The energy of the breath coming in when I was at Vitality, it was important for the energy of air and earth, right? So the earth is Lady Gaia was coming in, or Mother Nature, and Taya as well, and Mary Magdalene as well was coming in there, and making a point that Luxor, which is Metatron's retreat, which is card number 28, Luxor is the throat chakra of earth on that card. And of course, Mary Magdalene's all about, you know, if you felt wronged or misunderstood as a human. And as the planet ascends, people will communicate higher wisdom and link telepathically with all life forms. You're asked to send love and wisdom to all sentient beings, right? Not just who you think you're linked up with. But again, they were linking the throat chakra of the earth to coming through me when I was at Vitality, because like I said, Divine Mother was coming through, and I absolutely was hearing, you know, the Earth Mother coming through that. I feel like Earth Mother was coming through to scold us, you know, to clean up our act while she was cleaning up the act in the room. And then the Divine Mother came in with the loving message, and then the giggling was coming in with Kuan Yin afterward, and Spirit's connecting with me. And then Lord Kamika also came in with the 8th ray, with blue topaz, and taking personal responsibility. And the unicorns keep coming up too as being here. Early on in my journey, I met a unicorn, who's someone I was very close with. So they're coming in closer now. So don't be surprised if you meet one too. All right. So then I was asking, you know, after I was asking for confirmation on. I was definitely getting Divine Mother coming through, but I specifically wanted to see what came through in my Ascension deck cards, which doesn't have a Sophia card, which I've now written Sophia on one of those cards so she can come up. But Hilarion was coming up, which is the orange ray of technology and science, truth and knowledge, and Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin came up both times I asked, so that was definitely a confirmation. And really it was the energy of all the mothers coming through. Lord Maitreya came up again. Lord Maitreya is Maitra and Ea, so that could be Prince Ea as well. And then Paul the Venetian, which is very much Jesus energy, was coming through, because that's all about the creative arts, was the 4th card that came out there. Yeah. And then the Intergalactic Council with the 12 Masters came through, as well as Serapis Bey, which has been coming through a lot for me. The 4th ray of harmony, who works with the Seraphim, and the Amethyst Skull came up. Lady Nada, 7th ray, with group magic, and again, coming together in groups can really up your abilities. And then the Huna prayer came through too, right, which is just a spiritual practice to specify a guide or angel or master, whoever you want to connect with, and say your request 3 times, and then sit with your hands up and say, may the rain of blessings fall, and so be it, or so it is. So that was coming up as well, your spiritual practice. All right, so now we're up to the 7 deck read on the table. All right, so this was on the 6th. This is the day after I went to Vitality, and I was in great energy. Oh, by the way, the energies felt heavy all week. Today, definitely feels better and lighter for me. I don't know if that's the case for you, but there was definitely lighter energy for me today. I woke up feeling much lighter. So something on the 6th at 2:42, I was listening to someone happened to say, Prince, and you got the look. And again, Prince Ea was coming up. So there's the, an ode to Ea again, which will come through again. All right, so this read on the table, which I showed you already, that picture. The underlying energy was at 250 when I cut the deck on the 6th. And the first thing I noticed were the letters over here, because that's where I get my codes from, which was MA for Ma, and then TH, and then I was getting another T, and as soon as I saw those, I was getting Mother Teresa, after I had just dealt with all that mother energy the night before. So then she was coming through, and I had to look up her birthday, which I told you, I think, on the first video. But I looked up her birthday, and her birthday's August 26th, 1910, which is Virgo, but she died on September 5th, which is when I went to Vitality. So she was noting her presence as well. And that's also her feast day, September 5th. So, and it was funny too, like I said before, because he always picks on a birthday person in the room, and there were no birthdays that day. And Mother Teresa was coming through for me, making a funny to him that, you missed my feast day that day. So it was pretty funny. And also the mother taking the high road was destined. So I finished clarifying this read at 350, which is the 3 of the Mother, or the Empress, and the 50 of the 10 of Cups. So at 250, I cut the deck. At 350, I finished clarifiers. So we have the 2 and the 3 of the King of Wands holding the wand, which the wand is the feminine, and the king holding it down and grounding it to the earth is the masculine, and the 2 of the Taurus, the 3 of the Trident, and both of them with 50s, which is the 10 of Cups, which is the ultimate emotional fulfillment, which is what I experienced with the mothers coming through me. So the code line here, I did a quick read of this reading, which I don't normally do, before I clarified. So I'm going to read that to you too. Just want to see something. So the code line was, like I said, MTHT, which I was getting right away, Mother Teresa. But also the mother taking the high road, 10. So somebody could be taking route 10, but it has to do with high vibration, and the Wheel of Fortune, and the 1010 vibrating energy. But also the mother teeing up, like tee up. I'm getting the Knight too, our knights. Getting the moth to the flame too, that it's time to tee up. Regarding aid of the heart, and 2 of Swords, which is the feeling of having peace of mind or keeping your energy clear. Regarding the high vibe energy of the even of crystals, or the evening, the balancing act of the crystals. With crystals is also Christ-like, or crystals. Again, the balancing act between the 2 sides and then up and down. The underlying energy of the King of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, 10 of Cups, and then the 9 of Wands, and then the indigo on top here, and the underlying energies. The King of Pentacles at work experiences heartbreak of the 10 of Cups family, surrendering to indigo or magician, or perhaps a magic child. In the recent past is the 4 of Swords, meditation, and the foundation, the Emperor, a reasonable man. But I hadn't clarified yet, and the Emperor actually came up unreasonable because he's reversed over there. the central energy of channeling downloads, and kerplunk was coming in. The game kerplunk, being kerplunk, like the energy is coming down on his head from here, like passing downloads. Kerplunk on the emperor himself, while people watch, which could really piss him off, right? The divine feminine's heart channeling directly to the emperor after clearing devices or inflamed devices, causing paralyzation and crown blocks. So that might relate specifically to one of you. The challenge being the Two of Swords floating on air and comfortably numb, with purple touches here of the Queen of Cups present fully in her emotional body, and the Five of the Ten of Swords here, or excuse me, and then soon coming up is the Ten of Swords energy, experiencing paralyzation and the experience of bliss, which I actually experienced both of those at Vitality, because I felt like I couldn't move my body, like I tried to raise my arms and I couldn't, and then I've had like a death experience where I just died. It wasn't painful or anything like that. I wasn't breathing, and it was just like, and this is all involuntary responses when you're going through this process. Now the twin flames, seeing themselves here as the Knight of Swords, passing 5D messages to Mother of Abundance, and around them is the Two of Wands, or twin flame energy over here, of the Emperor and the Empress in the Divine Feminine's heart. The E-Tower, or Merlin's room, at night with the power to break through the karmic blocks, in waves of new moon through the ring of fire, transcending karma, which was coming up as energy ma, to walk away from old emotions to find the missing one within. And that was at 323. So again, the Mother and the King of Wands. The Five of Swords frogged to Prince by allowing the pain within to come out, juggling the faceless green energy, and that can be the energy of jealousy or envy, right? Green with envy. The higher self and hanging man transition through the portal to the other side, accepting all that is, and coming together with the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands, which these were the last three cards I pulled after these two. They just didn't fit on the table. And this Three of Cups and Four of Wands, this is union for me. And here's this surrendering to all that is, okay, with the Two of Crystals. And it ended up with the joy of home. And again, Mana Joya were the last words she kept saying over and over again. The Infinite Mother, or Mother Teresa perhaps, tees up regarding the I am aiding heart with peace of mind. And again, this could be connection to your divine masculine. So, I wonder what my divine masculine experienced when I had this experience with the Mother. The Two of Swords and destiny of even, quote unquote, of crystals, again, being Christ-like or crystals. The infinite M of in Elena's book, the Pleiadians refer to their god as Imana. So I nickname her M, which is a she god. And T, rise. So there's the EM and the TE of the feminine god and the masculine god, and Mother taking the high road of destined high vibration. The Re of the shaman, AD, or after death, of the E of the temple. The Christed temple can be the one equal and congruent to the E of energy, the kinetic energy of the temple. And again, that can reference your temples in your head as well. And E, of course, is east as well. That could be coming up. And the heart, and again, when you think of east, you think of Easter, and then the rising of Christ. So the energy of the Re of the shaman after death in the E heart, which also can represent the divine feminine in the E tower, knowing the destiny of the divine feminine's heart, even of crystals. The underlying energy going back to the beginning after the clarifiers at 423. Again, now we have, instead of the Mother in 23, we have the Father in 23, because the 4 is the Emperor and the 23 is the King of Wands. The underlying energy, which I told you already, with the King of Pentacles reversed, ungrounded at work, with heartbreak or disappointment that can be a literal heart procedure as well, or cracking open to end an emotional cycle and surrender to the magic. The indigo proposal of the King of Cups upright and the King of Pentacles reversed move to peace. With the Four of Wands upright, the Hierophant and Judgment all upright there, which is some powerful energy right there, right? With the energy of this, with the Hierophant and the Judgment card, which can be so societal perspective. I mean, this can be the Hierophant can be the master of the hidden house in alchemy, and then the wake-up call versus societal norms of the man telling us what to do and making decisions for us. The union of a higher calling, of no more anxiety about a soul tie, and releasing the Six of Cups upright, perhaps children or that soul tie or soul mate. The Page of Pentacles upright with the Four of Swords, learning to meditate or 5D connect, with the Ace of Wands, new passion, to the Seven of Wands reversed, defenseless to this offer of growth or creativity, and drained in need of vacation perhaps, destined to keep the golden goose in check. The indigo destined to purge, stress, or not be able to sleep, without choice with the Two of Wands reversed, or twin flame refused in the past, as the Page of Swords upright steps up to the plate to hit it out of the park. In purging session or sudden message, epiphany or blast in meditation, breathwork, or dream state awakening, the crown blown wide open in magic destined meditation or dream, as loving magician is ungrounded by peace, clearing a whole bunch of thoughts and getting to know each other, unrequited love, wedding, and you deserve love, which came up all in the underlying energy here for romance angels. As Sagittarius's arrow is pointed right at you, with the 14 of moderation and 66 of healing, the angel and the golden gates, and number 8, which is the dance of choosing yourself today. Do not deny your importance. And that was at 443, which is the Emperor then coming together in joy. The Death card upright in the Five of Pentacles reversed, with the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands both upright there. In the end of recovery at work, with the arrows of love or energetic exchange or just a lot of busyness and back and forth, and the release of the Eight of Swords reversed, with the Ace of Cups reversed and the Six of Swords upright, and overwhelming negative thoughts and emotions or tears, and finding peace despite all that. Healing naturally. As the recent past is the Four of Swords, and the magic meditation to move to peace. As the Four of Pentacles, keeping cards close to their chest, with the Ten of Pentacles abundant group doing the work to love each other, soul ties, on a quest at 530, which is the Hierophant and the Union, the Four of Wands. On a quest for the Queen of Cups reversed, with the Nine of Cups upright, to be happy with themselves and get her wish. The foundation of the Emperor reversed, right here. I know it's hard to see the cards underneath, but let me see if I can show you here. Okay, give you a quick flash. The King of Wands reversed is under there, with the Queen of Pentacles upright. The King of Wands reversed, the Devil reversed, the Queen of Pentacles upright, with the Ten of Cups reversed, and the Ten of Swords upright, and the Two of Cups upright. Unreasonable man with the King of Wands reversed, which the Emperor reversed could be the King of Wands reversed, or they could be two separate people, detoxing for or from the Queen of Pentacles upright, to end an emotional cycle that's way overdue, to end or pay or in a painful end, to do the work and or get a message or massage, or doing the work to connect one-to-one with the Queen of Pentacles upright, or agree to disagree and end this thing. The central energy is the Seven of Swords reversed, coming clean about the Queen of Cups reversed, or a bad influence or third party, fallen angel that surrenders or loses patience and gives up, purging stressed or not sleeping well, and perhaps out of their mind. With the challenge being the Two of Swords upright with peace of mind, and that can be peace of mind or pretending not to know so you don't have to deal with something, trusting your knowingness, with the Knight of Wands reversed, sharing the story of how they healed themselves by dumping emotional attachments, and notice emotional attachments is EA, which is Ea, by dumping emotional attachments without needing to give anyone an excuse, allowing themselves to be completely vulnerable. without an excuse at 541, which is the Hierophant and the Ace of Cups. And now, crowning there, up top there, is the Queen of Cups buried, and she's come up reversed with the clarifiers. The Queen of Cups reversed and the Emperor reversed with the Seven of Swords between them, cleaning up the act after sudden message of Lovers reversed or some kind of breakup. Or now, the Lovers card in the main read is not reversed, but it was reversed in the back energy over there. So just so you know, there could be breakups and coming togethers here, okay? So the Queen of Cups and Emperor reversed, cleaning up the act after sudden message of Lovers reversed. And that could be hearing about somebody else's breakup or a lack of love. Some people use the Lovers as indecision, but that's not usually for me. For me, it's all about affection. And the grounding and integrating of the Two of Wands path or twin flame upright. Perhaps a loveless marriage here, or a breakup, with the Queen of Cups reversed receiving love from the Divine Feminine, Pisces, neighbor, or world, and married Emperor reversed facing fears with the Hermit reversed and the Empress upright. Or perhaps Taurus wife with Virgo reversed in chart, or Emperor reversed breaks up with the Queen of Cups reversed to be with the Emperor who would then turn upright, or the War of the Roses here with the Emperor reversed and the Empress upright, or the Emperor reversed is committed here and the Empress with mental illness, or perhaps both parents in a home or have been placed somewhere, or perhaps I don't feel like they're representing both parents gone right now because the Empress is upright, the Emperor's reversed, unless the Emperor was a bad man. And so some people might be happy that he's gone. And then the Empress was revered in death. A sudden realization that the one that they're with isn't the one, or sudden arousal early morn, or new moon, or in a deception and can't be seen, as the truth bubbles up about depression and or arrogance and getting over the fallen angel or the one with a bad temper, or from losing patience. The Ten of Swords coming up here, destined to be weakened from overtime or things not working out or just not exercising, with the Queen of Wands reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed, with the High Priestess awakened, or sister or nurse or psychic or aide, with an idea perhaps here, with Libra upright and Leo reversed, and Pisces or Virgo upright, Pisces or Capricorn reversed. And before I forget, it's bringing the energy up. Both of my parents were in a facility when they were alive. My mother passed in 21 and my father passed in 16. But my mother had Alzheimer's and she was in an Alzheimer's facility. And my dad chose to be in the facility as well because he was physically incapacitated, although he was mentally fine. He just stayed in another room in the same facility. When they were there, I found it very useful to do cards with my parents because my dad had dysphagia and he couldn't talk. Or he could get very few words out. You know, he could think the thought, but he couldn't say it. So I would use my cards for yes and no answers so that he could speak to me. And he didn't believe in any of that stuff, but it worked really well in doing that with him, and I know that he appreciated it. So that might be needing to come up for some of you who do have parents in facilities and finding a way to talk to them. So do tarot cards and ask yes and no answers so they can shake their head or yes or no. And even for the patients who are a little bit out of their mind, I had a 100-year-old roll into my mom's room who